Hey y'all, it's Emily Herr here, coming at you from Pueblo West, Colorado. It is 11:03 a.m. Mountain Standard Time in this beautiful state of Colorado. Today it's a little bit windy and a little bit dark. So for this podcast today, I wanted to go ahead and talk about a job board called Handshake. Handshake was introduced to me through SNHU. That's my college, Southern New Hampshire University. And a lot of colleges should be using this actual website because it actually has you log in as a student with your email. And they have a bunch of internships and job positions that are for students. They want you to be in a certain program at a bachelor's level. And some of them want you to be graduating very soon. A lot of them want you to have at least 6 months left until you graduate. There are paid ones and there are unpaid ones. Now, the big question here that I haven't been able to establish an answer to quite yet is whether or not some of these are still scams. So when you go on LinkedIn, now there's a ton of posts that are scams. It used to be a really good place to go and apply for job positions. Now a lot of people want you to email them and text them off the website, and they want to use really crazy applications for you to go on and say, hey, this is me, or they ask you for immediate information. I will let you know there's only one internship out of about 10 that I've gotten so far with Handshake that has asked me my social security number. And there is only one other one, a different one, that has asked me my phone number and address. The one that asked me for my social is someone who required a background check in order to do it. And that's because she does a lot of different companies. And of course, she values them a lot. But the work that you're going to be able to do is more serious. So it seems to be that it can locate you. I think when you do your profile for the first time, you can input what your degree program is and kind of ask for certain jobs to pop up and various things to show up based on that. However, originally when I started my search on Handshake, I was looking for journalism, media, and publishing roles. I noticed on here a lot of the jobs were popping up as marketing and SEO, and they wanted to make sure that you knew how to do content creation and editing, and it became more of a marketing focused gig on them, if you want to call it that. And somehow now what generates for me the most, without me actually writing anything new in, are these marketing jobs. So it does recognize what you've clicked on, what you've applied for versus what you haven't. A lot of them are really great because they can be remote. You're able to click on here and request remote ones to be the ones that pop up and only remote ones to pop up. But there are local ones as well. What can I say about this? So most of the internships themselves want you to work between 10 hours a week to 20 hours a week. It seems that the ones that pay have you doing more closely to the 20 hours a week than those that are unpaid that require about 10 a week. There's a lot of companies on here, big time companies, famous companies, popular companies, and then of course there's some that you don't really know that well. There are actually internships on here that are international. I just joined one that is from Bangladesh, and it is authentic, it is real, they are a real company. So you have a couple of different options when you're doing internships off of this website, or any website really, is whether or not you want credit to go towards your degree program, what you have to get approved by your school first, and then you kind of have to wait for your start date. You can't really start right away. And then of course there's what I'm doing, where since I've been a business professional my whole life, and I'm pretty much my only boss the whole time, I'm doing it for reference building and recommendations. I do have a lot of new skills that are forming from each marketing internship and each content editing internship and any of them that I'm in. I've learned a lot of new skills, which is great. Internships are supposed to teach you something. There was one internship that I was doing that I would recommend nobody does. That was with a company called Ready, Set, Mindful. She does not understand what internships are for. I am not the type of person to call anyone out, but it's very important because my number one goal with these educational podcasts is to educate and to protect any student or person who wants to do this. So, in regards to her and some other ones on here, they don't understand what interns are for. I actually ended up sending her the definition of what an internship is. Now, the main definition of an internship is the position of a student or trainee who works in an organization, sometimes without pay, in order to gain work experience or satisfy requirements for qualifications. That's when you're using it for credit. It can take 3 credit hours, 6 credit hours, however many they allow, and it can be placed in certain courses. For example, if you have a marketing requirement, sometimes the school will waive your marketing class and put this internship in there. Now, the definition that this woman did not understand, and that some of these people do not understand, is that you're supposed to provide practical hands-on experience in a professional setting, and they're supposed to let you explore your knowledge and get new skills, and they're supposed to be like a mentor. Some of these internships really want to use you. They'll have you doing career level work, and I mean major career level work that people get paid a fortune to do, $1,000 an hour type of work, and they want you to do it for free. So some of them, like the Ready Set Mindful woman, posts it as one ad saying you'll be doing one thing, and then she completely changes it and all of a sudden has this whole other list. So remember, even though you're trying to sell yourself to these companies and you're trying to get the job, you are able and encouraged to choose the ones that are right for you. If you are interviewing, don't forget you're interviewing them too. Some of the standard rules when you're trying to apply for an internship or job, you always want to research the company. You want to have questions for them. They will tell you nowadays most everything that you could possibly think of. I did mention this in the other internship podcast that I have listed, but don't choose to mention the salary. If it's a paid one, don't ask about that. The ad already tells you how much it's going to be. Find a different question that shows that you were listening or that you really care about getting the job. When I have no questions, because I usually don't, because I do my research so thoroughly and then they talk so well about their companies, I usually just say, how will I know that I've been selected and what will the next steps be? And then they usually talk and you say, thank you, have a nice day. So you are selling yourself to these people, but you are also purchasing them. Let's call it that. We're buying them. I did start in a few internships that I figured I wanted to start in because they were the first ones I applied to and I got them and they would have valuable skills for me to use, but they were lower level and a little bit, not difficult, but less advanced, less knowledgeable. It's more like if you were working for a small mom and pop shop in one town versus working for like Walmart. So thinking about the education level that you're going to get, the experience you're going to get, it was totally different. And I actually was able, and you are able, to politely and respectfully ask to exit an internship. Don't just disappear, guys. I don't know if they can find you on here and they can like flag you or mark you, or if they're going to be jerks about it and follow you around on social media and say you're bad. But be professional. Sometimes you can take the blame and say, hey, my schedule is a lot more hectic than I thought. I really think that you deserve a little bit more time and energy on this issue or on this project, and I really need to ask you that I step back and that you find someone else. Always offer to stay for your 2 weeks. I know that people don't like giving 2 weeks notice. They always say they don't give you 2 weeks notice if they're firing you. There's a reason for that. If you're being fired, it's because they don't like you and you're doing something wrong. If you're leaving, they like you and they want you and they use your skills and your position to further their business. So it's respectful and professional to do that. I would recommend if you end any internships early, unless you do it very amicably, don't use them as your references. Don't put them on your resume. You don't want to count those ones. For me, like I said, these are resume builders, so I removed the 2 that I ended yesterday. I had asked to step back because they have different tasks than what I'm interested in now, and they aren't really supportive or mentoring or anything like that. So it's more me just using my skills to further a business instead of starting my own, which is okay. That can be beneficial as well. But are you going to get the credit for it? Internships are all about credit, whether it is actually credit with a school or if it's about credit in the community on your resume, wherever it is going to be with your new employers. Credit, credit, credit. You want credit for your work. You want a reference. You want a place to say, hey, tell them how I did. But that being said, Handshake is a great place for finding these internships. And I know we got a little bit off topic there. That will happen from time to time as we dive deeper into the subject matters that we're talking about. And apologies, guys, if you hear the wash machine in the background. I am sitting here looking on the jobs website, and I noticed, for one thing, they don't always update every day. Right now they did update, but yesterday when I kept trying to review these and change them, I had to go to like page 3, 5, 7 to find new ones. You can save them, but the problem is once the post is expired or gone, I've never been able to find one of these applications that I've saved. Not applications. Pardon the mistake there. The ad, when you're going to jobs, in the right-hand side of Handshake, you're going to see a list: Explore, Feed, Inbox, Jobs, Events, People, Employers, Career Center, Coco, which is a beta testing. That's for you to get assistance on here. But anyways, when you click on jobs, that's where they show you everything that you can apply for. On that screen is where you can change it to show remote, or you can leave it alone and see what is local and remote. Just know that it shows local to your school. My school is in New Hampshire. I am in Colorado. So having those posts does not help me. Some of them are really huge internships that are great opportunities, very successful opportunities for you to do. They're in New York and California and different places around the country, and they will be for a certain time frame, and they want you to actually move there for that time frame and do those internships. If you don't have responsibilities at home, like pets to take care of or a wife that's going to nag you, just kidding. You can do those, and that would be a great opportunity for you. That's where the part I'm talking about when you save them. So there's a little bookmark looking thing in the top. It's for you to save it. So on the right-hand side, left-hand side is your list from Handshake with the drop-down menu. Next to that, kind of in the middle of the right-hand side, if you split your screen down the middle, it's in the middle of the left-hand side, are the lists of jobs. And when you click on each one, the details pops up on the right-hand side. Right here on the left-hand side, middle part where the list is, it shows you your name, the money, the time frame that it was posted, how long ago it was, if it's remote or not, and then there's your little bookmark. I've noticed that when I'm bookmarking these, a lot of them don't show up, and that's because when you click on it and the details pop up, you'll see the company, the name of what they want you to be. So this one is Patalytics Marketing Intern. Down below that it says posted 4 months ago, apply by May 1st, 2025 at 7 a.m. If I apply today on March 14th, and this isn't until May, they have all the way until May to look at my resume, ask me for an interview if they want, give me the position if they want. But on May 1st, this is going to disappear. So even though I have it bookmarked because I wanted to apply for it today, it is not going to be saved for long. Now, when you apply for a job or internship on Handshake, in the very, very right-hand corner is a picture of yourself if you put one. If not, it'll be like a little logo that you can tell is your account. It's next to the little bell for notifications. If you click on your face or the blank space if you didn't put a picture, another screen menu pops up. It says my profile, my jobs, my meetings, my documents, my career interests, my reviews, notification preferences, school connection settings, help center, terms and services, log out. The My Jobs button is the second one down. You click it. This shows you every ad you've ever applied for on Handshake. It will show you whether it's pending still or been reviewed, or if it's been closed out and they're not hiring anymore, and also if you were declined in any way. And it varies. Sometimes they decline you because you're not available to do the hybrid, even though they advertise it as remote. And just know, guys, some of these jobs, and you won't know unless you apply, and I would recommend applying anyways, since it does say remote. They may have just forgot to update their settings in the application. The application should be probably standard to everyone, so it's going to be remote, hybrid, in person. It's not going to really know. If you go in for a remote job and it asks you, can you travel to this company every week at least once? And you can't. If there's a part to write it in, say your ad said remote and apply for it. Because sometimes they just made that mistake. Sometimes they're kind of doing like a bait and switch thing where you thought you were going to get a remote gig and they want a hybrid gig. Sometimes I wonder if it's because people don't understand that it's called hybrid when it's in person at least once or twice a week. Whatever the issue is, just watch out for that. That's another thing that I noticed. But what I usually do is I apply for my internship. When somebody gives me an interview, I will go on here and I will type in the search box the company's name, and I will review the actual job position and what they're looking for again. This way I understand a little more about the company again, because I'm not going to lie, you don't have to research every single company when you're applying. Of course, if you want to know exactly what they're about and who you'd be working for before you actually apply, you can do that. I usually wait until after I've applied and I get asked for an interview, because in these job details, it tells you what you're going to be doing. It tells you what they are as far as the company. Like, this is a wellness retreat. It tells me they want a tech-savvy social media and podcast creator. Boom, boom. Check, check. Now, when I got this interview, I came back to here. I looked at, okay, this is what my position would be. It's unpaid. Okay, great. I remember that. Yes, it's remote. I didn't make that mistake. This is the company name. This is what they do. This is what they want. And then you can also Google them. Go on Instagram, X, Facebook, LinkedIn, and whatever else you want to use, TikTok, Pinterest. And you can find out more information. Know your companies. Yesterday I got asked about a marketing company, and he asked me specifically, what is it that you think we do as a company? And it's not that I wasn't prepared for that question. It's just it threw me off guard, and I was like, okay, blah, 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 blah. It's not like I want to answer that question in a way that's like, hey, I know better than you what you do. So be respectful, but always be ready for that. This is how you can find out the basic details if you forgot. I will tell you that some of these positions, this one I applied to on February 25th. My interview was yesterday, and I got the internship yesterday. They posted it 6 months ago. So you see, like, it can take time. Some of them put deadlines for the internships when they're ending or not, and some of them do not. Some of them want it to be ongoing so that each time an intern leaves, they get new ones, or if someone's better or can offer something new, they keep it rotating. If you need credit for your internship, whether it's paid or unpaid, and you're asking for school credit, be sure that your school allows this company to give you credit. I have had some people inbox me here on this website and ask me if I needed credit or if I was doing it voluntarily, and they had offered to do like a letter. That's great, but that's not going to get you the credit for the school. As far as doing it for experience and resume building and to have a new reference, to get letters of recommendation, great. Do it. Awesome. Make sure that you're paying attention to the length of the internships as well. They will show you that usually. If not, that is a great question to ask when they say, do you have any questions for me? I have had a few where they changed the amount of time once they heard my skills. Suddenly, an ad that said 3 months, they're like, we want you for 6. That's great. They liked my skills, so I was like, okay, cool. But always pay attention to that, because you also need to know that for your school when you want credit. It depends on how your terms work and how many hours they want you to have. What I've noticed is a lot of these internships, like STEM and the more professional, well-known ones, will tell you for credit you need to do at least 15 hours a week. and you have to record your hours. And then if you're doing it voluntarily for experience and resume building, some of them say that, some of them use different words, they tell you at least 10 hours a week, or record your hours and let us know how many you're working. I will tell you, some of these remote positions are very unsupervised, which means that you want to apply for those when you have the ability to be a self-starter. You want to be able to do time management. You want to be able to work alone. Other internships on here actually have weekly meetings or monthly meetings. They have platforms for you to use to communicate with your team. I have one internship that uses Google Chat, which I had no idea was a thing. It's awesome. The whole team can talk to each other right there in your inbox. Another one uses, it's like a planning board. It's called Miro, Miro. And they also use Trello, Trello. Trello's awesome. I'm about to pay for my free version because I did download it for STEM and for Seaside Sustainability. And once you get in there, it is so awesome. So you can upgrade to Trello Premium for $10 a month. They want to bill you for the entire year when you do that. So you have to be able to fork down $119. But it's awesome. And remember, these are all skills that they're teaching you how to use. So immediately after you learn how to use this, go add that to your resume under skills. What skills do you have? Experience with Trello, experience with Miro, experience with WhatsApp, experience with Handshake if they have you doing anything with Handshake. That is a platform. Don't forget, you can say experience with social media. If you list the social medias, that looks a lot better because it makes them anxious. So, back to Handshake again. On here, again, where your face is in the right-hand corner or the blank space, we had talked about how it says My Jobs. Above that is My Profile. If you click on that, here you can edit your profile. You can edit your banner. You can make sure your name is spelled correctly, your school is correct. It shows you if you have any followers or if you're following anybody. It shows you your city, but it shows the school city. You can add a website. This is where you can put what you're looking for. Full-time job, what types of jobs, who you want to work with, what kind of companies. You can do a summary that's like a little mini bio. You can click from a list of skills. You type in a skill and click it. I think it tells you how many it recommends. I think it said 10 or less. So you want to pick your top ones. There is an option to put work experience in here, but if you add your resume to Handshake, which we're going to get into in a minute, they'll be able to access it if you make it public. So then there's your education. You can put courses you've taken, organizations you've worked for, projects you're on, if you know any extra languages, things like that. So now that we mentioned it, when you're applying for jobs, we're going to go back to the jobs menu on the left-hand side. Click it. Your list of jobs populates. The details are over here on the right. So, for example, when I was talking about this catalytics position and I bookmarked it for later, and I know that it's going to end on May 1st. The reason I bookmarked it is because I was working really hard yesterday. I had applied for a lot of these. I had done a few interviews myself, edited my resume, did some marketing plans for the internships I already do. But there's 3 options that I've noticed on here that will pop up, and it depends on the company. This one says apply externally. When you click apply externally, it redirects you and tells you review employer's instructions. It can send you to every kind of site possible. These are authentic, legitimate jobs. Sending you to a third-party website that's theirs is not like someone trying to get you to come off of this platform. As far as I can tell, there's no scammers on here. There are unprofessional people. I've had an interview with someone 2 different times that didn't show up and then disappeared. He was the same guy twice. He didn't show up for 2 different meetings. Another one just keeps messaging you and is like, okay, contact me here. And once you do, she doesn't respond. She acts like she's not even paying attention to you. There are ads that come up from different people in your inbox. These are authentic job opportunities as well, but they're people who are looking for individuals and is trying to encourage you to go and apply. So I've gotten a few of these and I've had to reject them because most of those are local to their area. There are some jobs that will ask you to relocate. Internships asks you to usually relocate for a short time if they need you to. The job positions are encouraging you to relocate permanently so that you can work for them. So anyways, when you go to here, that's how they contact you. Applying externally usually takes you to their website specifically. This one, page 404, not found. So see, somebody, even though it says May 1st, it is not actually an ad anymore. They didn't tell anyone. They didn't remove it from here. I don't know why. So I'll go in here. After you've clicked this apply externally button, if it's having you apply externally on Handshake, once it does that, on this screen for Handshake, it'll ask you, did you apply for this job? And you can click yes or no. If you click no, it goes back like you didn't touch it at all. If you click yes, it'll put a little green tabby that says you applied. So the next type of position that I've seen on here that you can do is when you click on it, there's apply. Instead of apply externally, it's apply. Now, this is where the other two options come in. Sometimes when you click apply, it just sends it to the company and is like, thank you for applying. That's going to share your basic profile. And I've heard from one person that they didn't have access to the resume. The other option that happens when you click apply, depending on the company, is it will have you attach your resume. So, depending on what this job asks for, sometimes they only want you to attach your resume. This is when you can upload your resume from the computer and save it. And what you can authorize is for it to be public on your profile. Mine is public in my documents on my profile. I have seen people who want a cover letter. I've seen people who want your transcript from school. I've seen people who want your portfolio or social media, like example posts. It'll tell you on here. A few of them have asked you to also email your resume to someone else. You do all of this, you click submit application, and it goes automatically. When you apply through one of those buttons where it just says apply, it does not ask you if you applied or not. It knows that you did, or if you didn't. And it'll react accordingly. So see, if I submit this one, it says you applied on March 14th. That's how I knew for the other job I applied on February 25th. No, February 14th. I don't know. We just talked about it and I left the screen. And then it took until now for them to contact me. So those are the way that they pop up. It will tell you if it's an internship or if it's a job position. Most of the time when you click on the jobs tab, it goes to what you've used the most, but there will be a mix of it. If you go to the actual Handshake, you click on their little green H in the left-hand corner. This screen shows you new matches for internships, job picks for this type of position. So this one says job picks for marketing managers. Good fits for news analytics, reporters, and journalism. Videos for you that teach you stuff. Upcoming employer events. SNHU collection. There are some that the school recommends more or works with further. Sometimes they partner with them and things like that. They're probably in the career center. That pops up there. Then it says guidance events with your career center. These are from your school, and they have like webinars or meetings, workshops that you can watch or participate in. This is how you can guarantee whether you're clicking on internships or jobs. Otherwise, when you click jobs in that drop-down menu, or not, it's not a drop-down menu, it's always there on the left-hand side, it'll be mixed. But once you click on a position under that tab, it tells you right here, unpaid remote internship. It does show you on the populated menu, but some of them will tell you how much you get paid per hour, and some of them will just say paid. I did find one that said paid, but she did not understand how she had clicked that button. So after talking to her, you found out it was unpaid. So I would be more worried or concerned about the ones that didn't put a price because they didn't have to type it in. They could have clicked the button by mistake, but always apply for them. If you're trying to find a paid one, apply for it. And they'll tell you once you talk to them. It's not a big deal. You should probably be, if you're trying to get a job or an internship and you haven't gotten one yet, you should probably be on here at least an hour a day going through these and applying for various things. So let's talk about your documents. As I mentioned, when you click apply and it's internal, it has you attach your resume, it has you attach your transcript or your cover letter, whatever they want. Just a quick side note, sometimes when you click apply externally, it still sends you with your resume. It lets you choose it before you go to the external site. And that's because it'll try to populate the answers to the form once you get to their website. It does a terrible job. Terrible job. You're better off just typing it yourself, or it's mixing up all your details. I've had it mix up my job position with the details of my school and then my community service as the description. It was horrible. So where do those forms go? So we go back to your face or the empty circle in the top right corner. Again, we said my profile, my jobs. We saw both of those. My meetings. I haven't used that feature yet, but right below that is my documents. If you click that, it opens a screen. This will show you everything you've ever downloaded. Whether you uploaded it for a specific person or you use it all the time, it shows here. It wants you to know what you've been putting, and it wants you to have access to it again. It tells you what type of document. Mine are all PDFs. Then it tells you whether it's visible privately or publicly. So on here, I have my public resume, and I check it was uploaded on March 11th. It's ready to use, and it's my description in the title is the current one. So I'm like, great. I want that to be visible. It says public. The old ones that I uploaded are private. So I know that if somebody reviews my page, they should be able to see this resume, especially if they've signed up for the professional account and verified they're a real business and all of that. If you scroll down, you can keep going. Here's another one, my latest transcript as of February 1st, and it says public. They can see that one. I have a cover letter that's public. I have a social media sample that's public, and a digital portfolio that is public. Everything else seems to be private. So you can also click upload new documents. It's in the top corner on the right hand side. It lets you pick this. That screen will show you all of these populated forms that you've added. But once you've uploaded a new form using this upload new document, the next screen lets you select from all of these. It'll show you a section for resumes, a section for cover letters, a section for transcripts, sorry. I'm going to take a drink. And then you can select which one you actually want to have public. You don't have to have any of them public, but it helps you. It'll help you get jobs. It'll help people see more about you, and it will help you get those inbox invites for positions, like I told you, that are authentic and legitimate, but that people are looking for you. And they say, hey, I reviewed your resume. Check us out if you're interested. Real quick, when you actually get these messages in the inbox, it asks you, so here's one. Hi, Emily. I'm a sourcing business partner with United Health Group. I'm hosting a job fair. She tells you when, where, blah, blah, blah. And she wants you to say interested or not. It's a job fair. I don't really want to do it because it's not necessary. So on the bottom, I click not interested. But the reason she knows about me is because of my documents that are uploaded and my profile information that I put in. Now, some of you may have a digital portfolio like I do. I started with a paper copy and I put all my work together in a Word document and then converted it to a PDF until I figured out that having a digital one is much easier. The problem is that a lot of these places will ask you for your portfolio and your cover letter. There are a few external job sites for internships and jobs that pops up, and it actually wants you to type the cover letter in the little box. I usually copy and paste mine. But depending on how well you have this digital portfolio, when it asks you for it, you can put a form that you make into a PDF file that has the link to your digital portfolio, and you say, all of my work is on my digital portfolio. Please visit this website. I don't know yet if people respect that and do it, or if they do not. I honestly, when I get an internship interview or a job interview, I don't remember what they required when I applied. It's not like you're remembering all these. I've had like 300 applications. So you just want to make sure that you have that. If you can make a paper copy of it, I usually just copy and paste it into a Word document. But the issue with that is that when you're submitting a paper writing sample or a paper document, you need to pick the best work that you have. You need to put it first. You need to shorten it up. When you can do a digital portfolio, they can go explore that and see everything that you want them to see. I have papers that I've written for them. I have my writing samples as a creative writer. I have article links that are published online and article links that I've done myself. I have my internships listed, and then sometimes when I have certain projects like a marketing plan, I add that if it was really good. They get to see all of that. My digital portfolio has my bio, my resume, my portfolio, my blog is attached to it, and then of course now my television station is attached to it. So you have more options if you can get them to accept the digital portfolio. Now, in the olden days, we're going to call it that, you used to have the option to call or email these people ahead of time and be like, hey, I only have a digital portfolio. I really think if I condense it for this form that it will hinder me, blah, blah, blah. But what I've noticed is they don't have that option. You could go to their website and try to contact them, but that's probably not going to help you, if we're being honest. So you can take a risk and you can upload that document that says your digital portfolio. There are some people who ask for that link. So you're like, how am I supposed to put that? When they ask for your social media samples and they ask you for your links, you need to go to Word or whatever documents you use, write the website down, a little description of what it's for, and save it as a PDF. That's what you're going to upload when they ask for that. Again, I would recommend having a paper version of writing samples. Choose your best ones. Some of them have page limits, like send us your 3-page limit. I had one article that's published that covered the 3 pages, so that's what I sent her because it showed my best skills. Now, we had discussed how this does the school's location when it's doing jobs. There is an option. Once you go to the jobs menu on the left-hand side and click it, and it generates that list, and it shows you the company's information on the right-hand side, you can go to this little menu bar, and you can start typing your location. So see, I can put in Pueblo, Colorado, within 10 miles. Now it's showing me in-person internships and jobs that are local to my area. There's a lot of them, $15 to $20 an hour for this sales and management internship at Buckle. They have all kinds. That's how you can get the local ones if you don't want to work remotely. I like working remotely. I have a lot of responsibilities during the day, so that's what I do. Again, you can select full-time, part-time, or all of it. I usually keep it all and see what's available to me. Again, you can do this one that says on-site, remote, hybrid. And that's where the location is. You can type a company. So sometimes I want to see a company that I really liked, what jobs they have. You can type that in. There are more features to this. On that left-hand side, there's events, people, employers. You click these, they're going to show you the generated information based on that. So these are events that are happening near the school. I can do the same thing where I'm categorizing them, dating them, choosing more filters. This one does not show you a way to change the location. Some of them will be online, some of them will be offline. See, these are virtual, in-person, virtual. When you go to your face, circle in the right-hand corner. My meetings is something that I haven't used, but it's supposed to list any invites that you've gotten here and any interviews, but a lot of the time you're using them outside of this. People will send you a calendar link and then invite you. They use Teams a lot, Google, and they use Zoom There are some people who use the free version of Zoom and they'll be like, we have to hang up in an hour. They're counting down that free session. What you want to make sure that you're doing is applying for the ones that you want the most. You can apply for ones that you don't want as well, but or as often. And again, remember that you can cancel professionally ones that you've changed your mind about. You can decline ones where you don't like what you've heard, just like a job. And just focus on what you're doing when you're exploring. There are a ton of options, like I said on here. You can look for whatever you need to find. This is the best website for you if you're in college. I forgot. If you're not in college, I don't know if you're allowed to have this. Let's log out and see. If I go to Handshake as a person, you do have to be a student at some kind of school. It only allows for students, employers, and the Career Center. So if you cannot use this, then hopefully you didn't listen to this whole meeting. But anyways, I hope that this helps you. I hope that you have a better understanding of what Handshake has to offer and how to use it, the different options that you have, and how their process works. If you have any extra questions, you can always email me, Emily, EMILY, her, HERR, 719@gmail.com. That's Emily, her, 719@gmail.com. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, and look out for the next podcast. Thank you all for listening. I appreciate your time, and hopefully this was helpful. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon.